All right, so we were sent a screener for a movie called The Veil, and the reason that I agreed to watch it is because it stars Rebekah Kennedy, who starred in a movie called Two Witches, which we were a big fan of a few years ago, and there was a promised sequel. So, Rebekah, where the hell is it? And we ended up becoming friends on Instagram. And we've, she comments on my videos and so on and so forth, back and forth. So shout out to Rebekah, cool chick. And so I was like, oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll check this out. And she's excellent in this. Once again, I think she's really, really solid. So good actress and a good person as well. This has to deal with a priest who is at home, and there is some kind of like cosmic event going on, which cuts the power. And most of the electronics are on the fritz.
Yeah.
And a woman comes out of the woods needing help who is Amish. Mm-hmm. And they, pair up for him to help her. And then, of course, there's tension in the distrust of one another because it starts to bring up past memories. Now, this is cosmic horror in the vein of something like Coherence, or a movie that we watched earlier this year called You'll Never Find Me. It had similarities to those, more along the lines of You'll Never Find Me, because this is mostly a man and a woman in a contained house.
Yeah.
As opposed to like in Coherence, that's like a group of people who are moving around outside a lot and kind of going back and forth, and there's a lot of different characters. That's not like this. Is much more smaller scale, and it's an indie film, and it has a really cool visual style to it because of the cosmic green of like sky event that's going on outside, and it's like what illuminates everything and adds to the atmosphere and ambiance of the film. Overall, I think if you like slower burn, atmospheric cosmic horror, which is mostly just discussions between two people, like a You'll Never Find Me, then I definitely think this is something that you should check out.
Yeah.
But if you're bored by that concept already, just listening to it, then this probably isn't going to be for you. But I think this is really well shot and really well acted.
Yeah, I agree. I really liked this one. I think that both performances are wonderful. I think they play off each other really well. I love the mystery to this, too. I think that it's, the whole time we were watching it, kind of trying to figure out, is this what's happening? Is that what's happening? And I really like that aspect to it. I found it to be really creepy. There's definitely a few shots that are, really scary and eerie. And so I love that, and the atmosphere and everything. And I don't really have a whole lot of complaints that I can think of, because I just kind of enjoyed the whole thing, and I thought the ending was really great too. And
albeit somewhat predictable, but I don't think it hurts.
But I liked it. It was a good, satisfying ending for me, even if it was one that I was could kind of see coming.
Even though they present it somewhat like a twist, I think that filmmakers now understand that audiences are more dialed in to the tropes and the trappings of the twist ending.
Yeah.
And so now we're very privy to looking out for this and that. We've seen this kind of thing so many times. So I don't think the film tries too hard to mask it in a way where it's going to be mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And I think that's smart because, unless that is the whole purpose of your film, like a Sixth Sense or something, where everything's climaxing to that, and if that doesn't land, it doesn't work. That's not what's happening here. This is more of an emotional payoff, and you don't, the twist doesn't really need to land in that way. It's just about how the story is presented, executed, and finishes. And I think all of those elements work, and that's what needs to work for this film to be successful. And so therefore, I think that if anybody watches this and is like dismissive of the movie because they're like, I guessed what the ending was going to be, so the whole movie's garbage. People have that very dismissive attitude towards movies like this that reveal something in the end that they're like, I guessed that, so I'm smarter than the movie, therefore the movie is dumb and the movie is, beneath me or some nonsense.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's fair for any of these types of movies unless it really is the whole film is riding on the climax and the conclusion of like the twist. Then if that fails, you don't have a strong enough film throughout to justify the ending being like, I saw that coming a million. We've watched movies like that.
Definitely.
Where we've been sitting there and they're like, we know where this is heading.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that's going to happen in this movie? Because they keep trying to like, detour and deflect and detract from your attention of like, we're tricking you. We're going to actually pull the rug out from under you. Don't you worry. Just you wait. And you're like, you're not doing it. I know what's happening here. And then it happens and you're like, that was your film? Fuck, come on.
Yeah, that's not the case with this at all. Yeah, especially because I think like the characters, like the interaction between the two of them and like the conversation and everything is all very interesting. And it has another layer to it that those other films that we're like talking about are missing. So
it also has a good like conversational element to it once the credits roll. Right? Where you really can talk about this and be like, okay, what do you think this movie's trying to say?
Definitely.
Right? And I have some ideas of what the ending is supposed to mean. And I like the different interpretations, right? With the somewhat ambiguous or ambiguity of the ending.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I really like that.
So anyway, that's that. So definitely support indie horror like this and filmmakers and artists that are trying to get out of the system of Hollywood and make their own thing without studio execs breathing down their neck.
Yes.
These are like true art pieces that may not have the money, but they have the heart and the soul. Oh, yeah. And shout out to Rebekah once again. Cool chick. Check out her stuff. Let us know. Get on that Two Witches sequel. 3 Witches? 2 Witches 2? 2 Witches 2 would be terrible. 2 Witches 2 Furious? All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.